Hello and welcome back to the Jumpcast. I'm one of the goofy goobers here. I'm Max Two, joined here also by Max One and Nick. Please say something.
Hello.
Hi.
And this is episode 38. Yep, 38 of the Jumpcast. Thanks for coming back. Today we're going to be covering chapter 231. Um, Bit of a hectic thing going on. Not necessarily that anything spectacular is happening, but just more speculation and more beating the shit out of people. So I'm gonna kick it over to Nick for the recap.
Perfect. So we start off the chapter with Kusakabe asking the question of like, has anyone taken a serious punch from Gojo? Everyone being like, no, we try to hit him, but limitless. And then Yuta and Hikari explaining that they did take maybe like a not so serious punch from Gojo, and they asked Kusakabe is asking how it worked because he theorized that he uses blue whenever he punches to suck in the opponent. Um, and Hikari explains that it feels like you're being counter hit, which, from the brief explanations I've heard, counters are a lot worse because you're a lot more off guard. Yuta and Hikari look down as they both say that they both vomited from one punch from Gojo. Um, Yuji looking back on Nanami saying that like you should not try to compete with Gojo when it comes to being a sorcerer, you're just gonna hate your life. Um, and then we cut to Gojo and Sukuna just fighting. Gojo, of course, he's that guy. He's the one that's pressuring Sukuna the entire time. Um, we see a cool moment where he uses that weird multiply thing. I think that was a reference to Hunter x Hunter as well, because everything is in this fight. Um, to try to sum it up a little bit more afterwards is that the Maharaga's wheel on Sukuna adapts, and then everyone's freaking out. They're trying to theorize how many turns it takes for uh, Mahoraga to adapt to Limitless itself. Um, and then Gojo just flat out says it's 4 times, and you've only moved it once, so you still have 3 more. And he proclaims that he's going to kill him before the wheel can move those other 3 times. Angel freaks out, just like, is he going to kill Megumi? And then Yuji's like, no, I think it's whatever plan they have to save Megumi. And then Kashima's like, no, just kill him. So yeah, that was the chapter. It was kind of nothing really big happened. It's a lot of, as you said, speculation and like the big declaration that Gojo will kill Sukuna before the wheel adapts. Um, so yeah, what do you guys think?
I I like this. I like this chapter. I like that um we finally got our time limit for the fight. Um, just adding that ticking time bomb that we all knew was there, but I think it's nice that we have it clearly stated now. Um, yeah, I'm just liking the dynamic still. I'm liking the amount of exposition, which is nice. It just makes me wonder how this is going to be animated, but they always figure out a way. Most likely it's just going to be voiceover, but you know, um, I think it's going to be funny that it in my eyes is probably just going to be Kusakabe throughout this entire fight when it's animated is just it's just going to be his voice with just the sounds of things being absolutely eviscerated. Um, so I man, I'm loving this. Anyway, Max, what do you think?
I also really enjoyed it. I'm really excited to see how the fight goes from here. Because, like you said, we have a time limit now. We have a date that it's gonna be over by. Um, and I'm excited to see if and how Gojo is going to pull this off in 3 wheel rotations, which I don't know what that time applies to or translates to, but it'll be very interesting to see um, what we get from this, and it's cool to see Gojo using stuff other than like blue and red and purple and limitless. I mean, I was really surprised by this like shadow clone thing. I was like, but it's cool. It's cool to see. Um, I'm liking Kashima even more, just like being like, hey, dude, just kill him, just kill Megumi and Sukuna at the same time. Just like he's gone. So
I think it was also a good chapter. The other thing that I forgot to mention is that so if Sukuna has to try to land a punch on Gojo, the wheel on Mahoraga darkens because he has to apply domain amplification to actually touch Gojo. Um, so that's the whole other thing. That's a casualty of it. It's just like, well, if Sukuna actually wants to land a hit on Gojo, he has to turn off Mahoraga's wheel. It can't work at the same time. Um, which I think is a good thing that Gege is trying to point that out. Just like, okay, Mahoraga can't adapt to everything like that. Um, and I think it helps nerf Mahoraga a little bit more because like the community is just like Maharag is the best thing in the world. It's so good. Just like giving him the sloppy toppy, and it's just like no, he does have his own limits.
Yeah. No, I do like that that KK added that as well. I think it adds that important dynamic to the fight where there still are stakes. Like they're both super powerful, but their power is being handled equally, and they're both very capable of a lot of things. But there still has to be limits to that. I was gonna say something else, crap, and then I forgot about it. Oh, sorry, I wanted to bring this up as well. Do you guys have any? Because I have a feeling. Okay, do you guys think that Megumi is gonna be freed at all from Sukuna's body, or do you think he's just gonna get ganked and or like? Do you think there's any consolation left for Megumi? Do you think he's just completely dead? I mean, I know we talked about this earlier, how his like his soul and his will to live is already broken, but what do you guys think?
The my most so what is it? It kind of goes with like the a comment that Gege made like near the beginning of the series, like in an interview where he said like I'm either gonna have one of them characters die or all of them except for one die. And I think that this is gonna be turning out to just have Megami live at the end of this somehow with we know that Yuji has like the body swapping technique. Um, so I'm thinking there has to be some way that Yuji can switch with Sukuna. That's my most likely theory that I have. Um, and then of course Gojo dying. So I think that he does have a chance of coming back, especially since they play at it so much. Um, I also want to point out that fan translations are different from the official ones again this time, because at the very end when with Angel being like, um, is he really just not caring about Gojo? Yuji in the fan translation doesn't say he doesn't assume what the plan is gonna be. He just assumes like maybe he did forget. Um, so like now that the official translation says that Yuji thinks that Gojo has a plan to save him, that corresponds with probably what happened before, with that whole other setup chapter right before they release Gojo, just like I have a couple ideas on how to save Megami. I think that is going to be something like that.
So you're saying then Gojo potentially could be forgetting that he needs to save Megami. He's just kind of tunnel visioning about beating Sukuna then?
That's what the fan translations were.
That's the fan translation.
I don't want to go off of that because I think that, well, maybe even Gojo does that because Gojo's Gojo. Um, but I don't think that that's what the idea is. I think that because Gojo also said it before after the Hollow Purple, just like I know that you can um come back to life even after dying. Like that's what happened with Yuji. He ripped out his own heart and he still lived.
Mm-hmm.
Um so he's got like tricks up his sleeve and he knows that. So I think that they're betting on incapacitating Megami's body and somehow bringing Megami back up, whether it be with like the body swap technique and then like Sukuna just takes over Yuji's body and then it's just like, well, you don't have Mahoraga on you, buddy, anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're gone. You're donezo.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like my real idea behind it. And then Yuji, of course, is way too self-sacrificial, and he's probably just gonna like try to bring back Megami to the front of it. It's just like I'd rather live dormant here, than have you like suffer, my guy.
yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
I agree with you. That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wonder within the contexts of series like these ones. Um, this is kind of like a weird thing to frame specifically, but like, what would Megumi be like at his full power with that understanding of Mahoraga as well? Like, how would he be fighting? Is what I'm curious about. Like, because previously he's much more. I don't know. Again, I'm having trouble describing it, but I guess my point is what would Megami look like without Sukuna's influence right now? That's what I'm mostly curious about. Is that would he then have full control over Mahoraga?
Oh,
Yeah,
if like
I
Sukuna
believe that
left
he
his
would.
body?
Yeah, if Sukuna left his
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, I think anything Sukuna did in his body, he would still have access to.
Yeah, I would believe that as well, at least when it came to like the 10 shadows. I think that, so what is it? With how we know it, like Yuji's cursed energy well is different from Sukuna's. So I'm assuming that it's going to be the same applicable thing with Megami, so he won't be able to pull out like that kaiju-sized Inoue. But I think that he would. Somebody pointed out that Sukuna and Megami fight the exact same way, in which they try to. What they do is that they try to just absorb what the other sorcerer can do. Like they're very tactical. So like, I guess
Analytical
a good
when fighting?
example, huh?
Like analytical? Maybe?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like Reggie and Mahoraga. Like Mahoraga, he like throws out one attack and he sees what Mahoraga can do, adapts, and so then he keeps on thinking of ways to kill Mahoraga. It's the same thing with like Reggie throwing stuff out at Megami. Like Megami is just trying to analyze and see how he can beat him. Reggie also overestimates him and thinks like he doesn't have any big moves. Domain expansion. So they always just like they always have tact with how they fight. So I think it'd be something similar to that, but you would just add on the rest of the 10 shadows like Mahoraga, the deer, the bull. So yeah,
Are there still any 10 shadows that we haven't seen? I can't remember.
there's one more.
The
There's
fight,
one more
yeah.
that's left. Which I hope gets revealed, but I don't know if Gege plans on ending the series soon. Maybe that's like Sukuna's last thing and that's the thing that actually gets rid of Gojo, but I could be wrong.
That'd be interesting if the last one is actually is stronger than Mahoraga somehow.
That would be really cool.
Because then he
But
would have already had control over it, right? Because Mahoraga was the only one that he didn't have control over.
yeah. Um so yeah. There's also the thing of like I think that Maharaga's wheel can be put on any Shikigami. So like because if it can move from like Megami's soul to Sukuna's soul to Mahoraga himself, I wouldn't be surprised if it can move to like Nue or like Divine Dog.
Oh, so you're saying like Mahoraga and the demon dog could be out and the wheel could be on the demon dog, but not Mahoraga.
Yeah,
And so Mahoraga would just not be adapting. as
yeah.
they're fighting. Okay. Maybe
That you
that's how they
separate
could
it.
eventually beat Mahoraga. Is get
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, get the wheel to be put on something other than him or Sukuna, and then
oh, maybe they might. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get Yuji to switch with Sukuna, and then it doesn't work, and then they try and get the wheel to transfer onto Yuji.
that would be so cool actually. I actually really like that idea. That would be so good actually. To just instead of actually swap between Sukuna and him, he switches out with Megami, so Megami's in Yuji's body, and then he takes the wheel and adapts it to himself so that Sukuna can be taken out with Yuji.
That'd be really interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways this could go. I think.
And I think that's why Like when people say that like if Mahoraga dies, then like still the other 10 shadows are gonna be stronger. I think that's why Sukuna is being so careful with Mahoraga. The fact that because if he kills Mahoraga, I think that adaptability goes away with that as well. I don't think that there's like a way that he can still use the adapting wheel. So that's why he's being really careful and keeping the wheel on himself rather than Mahoraga,
Mm, yeah,
I would be surprised.
because it's too broken.
it is. Yeah. Something,
Yeah.
another thing that I mean, I know that reverse curse technique works very well for people with high amounts of curse energy like these two. Um, I just find it interesting how they still manage. Gege still draws them, in such a way where they don't necessarily retain the damage that they inflict on one another. And I wonder how much. I feel like what we just talked about has to happen. Otherwise, this is just going to be whoever breaks first in terms of exhaustion. Um, that the one who becomes exhausted first is going to be the one that loses this fight. And I, I still can't tell who's gonna win and who's gonna lose.
I'm happy that you're still on that. Um, I think that what is it? Everyone says from like the narrative perspective that Gojo has to lose, but I also can't see where it goes from there either.
Mhm.
Um, and the other thing is that uh that remind me also with the art. I really like how Gege still keeps up with like the damage that like Sukuna's chest is burnt.
Right.
Um, and the other thing to point out is that Sukuna and Gojo, when they deal damage to people, it's like still almost irreversible. Like people with reverse curse technique, like what's the name? Arame, like Sukuna's chef.
Mhm.
Like the one punch from Gojo is like I still haven't fully healed from that. And I'm trying to remember Sukuna also did something similar to another character that is just like, oh yeah, you can't heal from that.
Was it
Um I'm
Mahito?
trying to remember
I don't
who.
remember. Or no, not Mahito. The goober with the hand sword.
Well, the goober with the hand sword, he cut in half
Oh, right.
as
Wait.
well. But I'm trying to remember, like he dealt damage to someone to the point that they couldn't heal it back like automatically. I'm trying to remember who else he fought like that. I could be wrong, but
Jogo.
yes. I'm trying to maybe. I mean, that's also facts because not Jogo and him both used a fire technique and he got burnt. How does that even happen?
Right.
Um, so like their hits are different, and even like with Yuta and Hikari this chapter, they're saying like, yeah, one punch from him made me throw up.
Yeah. It'd be really cool. Yeah. Just, I mean, it just goes back to thinking like Yuji, what Yuji said about Hanami. It's like, don't compare yourself to Gojo. Like, it it brings a whole. I think that comment that Nanami makes, throughout the most of the series, I thought, okay, maybe for Yuji and Megumi in the cast, the Gojo level, the Honored One title is obtainable. I think that comment, personally, is not is making it so I'm like, they're they're not going to be on that level. They can be special grades. What they can be special grades by the end of the series, but they're not going to be a Gojo grade, basically. And
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's. I mean, Gege did say at the beginning of the series, like he wrote Gojo to be this lofty, strongest character, and I mean, we're seeing that. I feel like we're
yeah,
finally getting to see Gege actually, you know, show us what he meant by
yeah.
this guy is the strongest.
He was just saying it for the longest time, but now he's actually showing it why he's built like that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, and I love that comment with Nanami too, because like it's just like it's like what the hell? Like I can't even do anything compared to this guy. Um, and I like that he tells that to Yuji as well. Like, please don't compare yourself to him because he's on a different level.
Mhm. Another thing that's
He is
funny.
that honored one.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing that I thought it was funny that I completely forgot about is that in the flashback arc, I don't remember what it's called, the one that just got animated.
In inventory.
Yeah, hidden inventory. Um, I th- I think it's really funny seeing the young Nanami because I completely forgot that he was like they were together at that point in time, and then looking back at Shibuya and being like, "Oh, you look like a 50-year-old man."
He's not aging well.
Yeah, like
See,
being in the stock market did not help him.
yeah, investment banking sucked his soul away.
the guy is crazy. I think that he was 18 when he joined the stock exchange.
Seriously?
And- yeah, because he's 23, and he came back to Jujutsu. I don't know for how long, but
He
like,
was 23.
um,
Oh,
yeah, because or no, not 23. Never mind, he's 27. My apologies. I don't know how long he was gone then, because I know that he's 1 year younger than Gojo. So never mind, 27.
huh.
But yeah.
Interesting.
That was another thing that I found interesting is that like Gege explained that like Nanami left shortly after Geto went crazy because they both were just like so traumatized by Haibara's death,
Yeah.
and like
Well,
he didn't
yeah.
even blame Geto for what he wants to do.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting perspective, and it kind of leads back to like when people talk about how Nanami was originally supposed to be written as a villain. I feel like that's a little bit of a callback.
Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
think totally. Shoot, there's something. So you guys remember like right when this fight happened, the author comment by Gege that said like take logic out of this fight. Up until this last chapter, I think I completely have forgotten about that personally. Until Kusakabe after the Yuji's comment with Nanami, Kusakabe makes the comment. He's like, in other words, I have no idea what Gojo's gonna do next. He's like, just don't even ask at this point. Like,
It's just so funny because no one's ever been asking. He's been talking the entire time.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think we need to take logic out of this. Again, take a step back and just let Gege cook and talk about it every week. Theorize what we could think could happen, but you know, we were thinking there was gonna be more of a fight this week,
Yeah.
more hands being thrown, but no, it's a little respite for a second, but
Yeah.
they're still going ham on each other. Like, there's the two-page spread this week of Gojo just I'm gonna say
Dragging
it,
him
manhandling
through
Sukuna.
concrete.
Yeah, like
Gotta love it.
I really like their hand-to-hand fighting. It's so fun. Um, but yeah, I agree with that. Like we just have to do our best theory on what could happen. I love that shadow clone scene. I'm just looking back at these panels and it's so cool just seeing it. And like Sukuna's just like, nah, dude, it's this one. I already
instantly
know.
knows which one, which is
Yeah.
I really enjoy.
And
It's
Sukuna's, yeah.
I do think my favorite moment of this chapter is when Gojo's chilling on the stoplight. And
yeah.
boom, right when it hits green, that's when they go at each other. It's
It's
gorgeous.
really cool.
Like Gege has been cooking. I think he's been saving his energy on a lot of the most recent fights. I'm not saying the other fights are lackluster, but he's been saving his energy for this one in particular, which is, I think, amazing to see.
Yeah, I agree. It's the only thing is it's a shame that we get break weeks pretty frequently now because he puts so much effort into these chapters.
Yeah.
I know that the guy needs his rest, but I want JJK every week,
Yeah,
not
it's
every 2 weeks.
I don't
It's
care
like
that
that.
you're developing
I think.
carpal tunnel. Draw the damn panels.
It's like right around the time Nick got me into JJK, he was like, "Oh, it's the perfect time to catch up," because Gege was what on a 3-week break.
month.
A
I think
month,
even
yeah,
more.
because he's like people were like worried because it was right after Kenta Miura passed away. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's gonna die," and he's like, "No, guys,
Yeah,
my
people were freaking out about
Shibuya
that.
just fucked up my hand. Like, please give me like a month."
Yeah.
But no, it's good to see they are taking a break because these manga artists, as you can see, these past few weeks they worked their ass off, like at least 60 to 70, 80-hour work weeks. Like they are working day and night to get us these chapters out, and I think they do deserve these break weeks. They are probably still working
True.
on these break weeks. They're not just stopping production on everything, but it's nice to see them actually, because I think personally I forget that these people are human as well,
Hmm.
that they deserve
Yeah.
time off. um, and I think maybe they sometimes forget that as well. It's important
Yeah.
that they need to be reminded.
Because they also are doing like inhuman feats. Imagine drawing and writing this much and doing it week to week. So when you see this stuff, just like, how is this possible? Especially
Yeah.
from like one guy a majority of the time. Uh, and then you see why, like, uh, a perfect example of burnout was the um, Maki versus the Zenin clan arc.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
that was the best example of like, he couldn't even do finalized pages when he initially came out with it, and he finished the arc with a 9-page chapter, just trying to sum up everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I need to take like a month's long break. This is too much. Um, so yeah, I think that there was also a month-long break between Shibuya and the Yuji execution arc.
Yeah.
But like that shows that even that wasn't enough for him. Like, and I know that he also had health complications. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, no, dude, Gege's a monster, dude.
He's
He's got
fucking.
that dog in him with how he's writing these
he's a
chapters.
monster.
He got that dog in him.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're getting a pretty good break week, and you know why? It's because we're getting JJK in Fortnite. That's why how I'm gonna fill my JJK void this week,
Yeah.
Go
boys.
How
buy
do you
the skins.
how do you guys
Or
feel about
whatever.
that? How do you guys feel about the just constant anime crossover with Fortnite?
I love it. I love it.
I've
It's
been
so much
waiting for
fun.
the JJK one for so long.
I'm still mad. I'm happy getting JJK. I'm still mad I haven't got my Bleach one. That one got like leaked or teased like over a year ago, and I still haven't gotten it. But I'm happy to get JJK stuff. I think it's time to change from my anime skin of rockin' All Might to rockin' UG,
Hell
or maybe
yeah.
Sukuna if you can switch him. But it's nice to see that anime and stuff like this is becoming way more common in mainstream culture. I mean, we've seen over the
Yeah.
past, I think, 3 years that they're gonna a flood of, I guess, anime becoming more okay in modern culture. I don't know if that would be the term,
Yeah.
but a lot more people getting into it. So I think it's cool to see that we're finally seeing more of that. I mean, into like one of the biggest games of ever, maybe. I'd
Yeah.
go too far to say that Fortnite. It's fun to see. I mean, it's not like I don't know if they're adding curse techniques you can find in the game, but even
That
if it's
would be
just the
so
skins,
fun.
Bro,
even if
fighting
it's
Dude,
just the
running,
Mahoraga.
skins,
shooting hollow
yeah.
purples, shooting a hollow purple at like an 11-year-old kid from the other side of the map.
It's like the Dragon Ball event all
Yeah.
over again.
Yep.
It makes me
So
so happy. What do you think about it, Max 2 or Drees? I
Oh,
don't even know how we go with the names still here.
I don't know.
yeah,
We'll figure it out. I don't know how I like. Okay. On one hand, I do really enjoy it. It's nice that we're seeing, like the other Max said, we're seeing a fusion of culture here that I think is really important. That a lot of, um, I guess, Eastern culture. I mean, it's always been fetishized, obviously, but now it's becoming more as a normal thing rather than something that's just simply like stolen. Like, um, for example, I mean, it's not exactly stolen, but I don't know. Regardless, it's not accurate representation, like in Blade Runner. Even though it is one of my favorite movies, it still is something that can be quite harmful. But nowadays, we're seeing much more positive representation, people genuinely liking it, genuinely endorsing it, and I think Fortnite having that collaboration is incredibly important. Um, my problem always is that I'm worried that a company is going to take it in the wrong direction because companies are not people. Though they are staffed by people, they move differently and are motivated by profit and thus have different goals than a normal person would. So it's a bittersweet thing for me, and I think in addition, just to end this thought on a positive note, I think it's nice that over the past 2 years, 3, 4, however long you really want to call it, how the pandemic has affected everything, how I guess losers like us are continually being more and more accepted in general, and we're not, I guess, made fun of for the things that we like, and that's the bottom line that I really appreciate having that, like having something as influential as Fortnite have something that we enjoy on there, and it's just nice to see. Anyway,
Yeah.
I
Perfect.
can agree.
Love it.
Although
Basically,
I do.
go play. Oh, sorry. Nick, you go.
Oh no, you're all good. Although I do want to talking about like corporate and greed stuff. I always find it interesting how companies like try to plan out releases, like as you said, like trying to make these losers feel accepted. Um, these being us. When so like the company that owns Shonen Jump, Shueisha, they basically signed off like all the rights to all their most popular series to Fortnite. Like you can make characters of these as long as we receive certain profits, of course. Um, but they did such a I feel like it was such a bad idea that they went with Naruto
I was gonna
for the
say,
first idea for it.
I was gonna say,
So yeah, it's just like because that series is I'm sorry to say for all the Boruto fans that ever listen to this, but it's such a dead series now. And like it had like such big hype, but it's so gone now, and I don't know why they decided that one out of all of them. Especially like at the time that it released, like dude, you could have done Demon Slayer and that could have gotten like 3 times the traffic than the Naruto one did.
they probably just,
Um,
I think it was a money thing. I think they knew that Naruto was so well embedded in the culture that is anime, and then decided to go with that instead of Demon Slayer simply because it just would have costed too much.
maybe that is true, but I just found it very interesting. And I know that also Epic Games had a whole thing on it. But yeah, I'll stop I'll stop talking about business plans for anime.
Oh yeah.
Basically, what we're getting at is go play Fortnite on Tuesday. Go buy the skins. Even if you buy one of them, buy all of them. Anyways, like
I'm
go
gonna
buy
be
all of them.
buying all of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been
You'll see
saving up
us
my
on there.
V-Bucks.
Probably, yeah. You'll probably few us will play in. I don't know.
Should we
I don't
do
know
a
our usernames.
Fortnite JJK live stream?
Oh
That'd be
dude.
God.
hilarious.
I would. That wouldn't
The
be a
three
bad
of us.
idea. Catching some dubs.
I'd be down,
Good
honestly. We can
Yeah.
we can record ourselves
This may be
playing
in the
and then
pipeline then, yes.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So it's cool to see mainstream stuff. JJK is going fucking crazy. As you can see, this chapter we did not have a lot to talk about, so we went off on some good tangents, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a good.
That will be our
It's
next episode. Instead of a break week, we're just gonna record ourselves doing the Fortnite JJK. This isn't set in stone. It's just a fun
Nothing
idea.
set in stone, but
Yes.
No
it'll be fun.
promises.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm like,
Yeah, is there anything else?
I want to say.
It's a build up chapter. I don't know. We're just gonna the next chapter is gonna go crazy. We're gonna see like Gojo literally blown in half and he's gonna regenerate and then what is it? Sukuna's head is gonna get smashed in like Hikari with the grate that Kashimo did to him.
I
So
want
yeah.
to see more fights like that, like the Kashimo Hikari fight, where like someone like, these guys, Sukuna and Gojo are surviving some pretty crazy hits, but like Gojo like Hikari, like half his face being blown off and his stomach being blown out and his arm being blown gone. I want to see more fights like that in JJK.
Yeah, Sukuna, you're lacking.
Yeah.
I need to see you rip Gojo apart.
Tear his eyes
That's my
out and
prediction
then,
for next chapter.
huh?
Yes. That's my prediction next week is that Gojo's gonna get blown in half and he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he's just gonna use the limitless technique to just fuse himself back together, because, you know,
That'd be hilarious.
does that make
He
sense?
teleports his other half of him.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so interesting if he got blown in half and then blew off. What the hell?
Bro, use a half-ass version of Toto's technique.
It's just
Gets ripped in half, teleports, punches Sukuna, and refuses himself. Bro, that'd be so fun.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. No, this series is going ham, dude.
For real.
It's like, look, I mean, the year's not over. We still have what? 6 more? No, not 6. Like 4 more months of the year. Like looking back, we'll definitely do a video looking back on 2023 JJK. But
Yeah.
this has been a crazy year for
Yeah.
the series. Very, very cool to see where it could go. We've still got 4 more months of JJK content. Where is this gonna go?
Yeah.
We got what, like
Oh my
3
God,
weeks
we
on the
forgot to
anime, and
mention-
then oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. We got like the 3 weeks for the anime. We forgot to mention that Max 2, you finally got your picture done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, everybody look at your screen right now and look at me talking. Ha 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 ha. Don't I look amazing? Anyway. No, yeah, I'm hyped as hell for it. We finally got our finalized photo, and I'm really happy. Shout out to McKenna, being awesome with that. She genuinely did a freaking amazing job with that. So it's just awesome. Anyway.
Perfect.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Nah, I got my prediction out of the way. You guys got any ideas?
We got a month in Shibuya. That's the one thing on my mind right now.
Oh yeah.
That's, I'm just
I'm
looking at
with
it
her
on my
that.
I'm just looking at the volumes on my shelf, and I'm like, come on, I just need it.
Have it. Let me
I just
have it.
need. I just want to see. I like, dude. As soon as we get the fight of the grasshopper one, like, oh my god, dude, it's.
I'm gonna be
like,
so
the
hyped.
hype
It's
is
gonna
gonna
be
be
so
so
fun.
good. It's just banger after banger after banger fight in Shibuya, and like, I know I've gushed on the podcast before about how I love the Dagon fight, and oh my god, I can't wait to get that.
It's gonna be so good.
We're gonna pop off. It's gonna pop off. Those Mappa animators, it better not be sleeping right now. They better be working on it.
I can't wait to
24/7.
see Toji rip him in half. I'm so excited.
It's gonna be
I
awesome.
really want. They did me dirty with the killing Gojo and stabbing out his leg. They did it so
What?
slowly.
Oh, I thought they did such a good job with it.
It,
You
it
just want
was
sped
still
up.
really good. Yeah, like I don't want him to realize everything that happened. Like just seeing the shrink shrink shrink, it needs to be like 5 times faster.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hopefully
Oh,
we'll get that with Dagon.
one thing I do actually, just to end this off, at least end off my thoughts. I can't remember, and this is mostly just because I have a poor memory, but what is Kenjaku up to right now?
Last we saw, he
We
was
don't
watching it-
know.
He was just watching
Yeah.
on his Switch or like a N64 or something.
Oh, right,
Oh
on
yeah,
the
he,
rooftop.
on a
he was,
bridge.
he was
Yeah.
playing it. He was playing a Famicom, which is like an
Right.
NES, and he was just waiting for the fight to happen. And then I think that he was sitting there with Urame for a second, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Just
So
like watching everything go down.
he's probably gonna show up soon. I mean,
I would
Yeah.
love. Okay, here's my prediction. Not next chapter, but in the future. Kenjaku shows up to where our main cast is, and they want to fight him, but he's like, no, let's just watch the fight. Watch together. And we see, Kusakabe, Higuruma, and the cast like kind of trying to break down the fight. I want to see Kenjaku perfectly break
I
down what's
know
gonna
exactly
happen.
what you're talking about.
Like,
I like all of Sukuna's actions, and they're just like, how is he doing that? And he steps in from the shadows, just explaining everything that he's doing. It'd be
yeah,
perfect.
no, like I need instead of mansplaining, I need Kenjaku splaining this entire fight for our main cast.
Yeah, screw you, Kusakabe. This is Kenjaku's time.
But there's my prediction. We see Kenjaku come and explain. I would love that too, because we've only ever they're all gonna be like aggressive and have a negative reaction towards Kenjaku. I would love to see someone in the main cast have a positive reaction or positive interaction with Kenjaku.
It's gonna be
Before we kill
Kashimo.
Kashimo would be fun because he's like, hey, you said I could fight him, but he's fighting him. Like,
Yeah.
what's up with that, boy? What's
Yeah.
up?
What the hell?
Yeah, dude, that last line though of Kashima is making me like him even more. Like, just like,
But yeah, forget about him.
forget about him. Yeah, like, forget about it. Just kill him. Like, it would be perfect. Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys have any more closing thoughts or predictions?
Nah, I'm gonna stick with
No,
yours.
that was it.
We stay winning in the podcast. Everyone likes my idea. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no. Whatever happens next week, I will probably be as hyped as I was this morning. Even though I've read the leaks, I was just as hyped this morning when I was reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
All right, I guess we're gonna call it there. Thanks for listening to episode 38 of the Jumpcast. We appreciate everybody for tuning in and actually sticking around, bearing with us, us working through everything that maybe could happen. We're not the most credible source for analysts of JJK, but yet I still appreciate you all for choosing us. Please ensure that your seatbelts are indeed fastened and your trays and chairs are in their upright and locked position.
Nah, dude, no seatbelt, no tray tables down. It's gonna go
The
crazy.
1950s car.
Yeah. We gonna get rocked around next chapter.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, wait, do we have a chapter next week? I don't remember.
No,
We have a break.
Break. Cool. We will see you guys in 2 weeks, hopefully. I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you. Appreciate you. Anyway, have a good day, night, evening, whatever. See ya.
Hi.